Hi there. Hi, welcome to Midbox Capital. My name is Michael Chu. This video will be about how to sell looking at stock trading signals. So just a quick disclaimer, all the stock mentioned are not meant for buy and sell recommendations. Today we're going to look at stocks that we continue to look at weekly. So kind of what industries and stocks are showing strength. Also, we're going to look at when to sell. Um, for example, we'll continue looking at aggressive and as well as passive short-term sell strategy. We'll also talk about cutting losses when things doesn't work out. So in some cases, depending on your trading style, when you buy a stock, you may have a simple sell strategy. For example, taking a certain amount of profit. And this is a good strategy to build on, especially when you are new to investing or trading, because it's good to take some profit. That will boost your confidence, as well as when things aren't going right. Um, Hopefully, you have taken some profit. Uh, we also talked about this before. If you want to sell, you could also do a sell limit at the low end of a trading price. That way, you are kind of securing, on just in case there was a big down day, and hopefully you will sell at a good price and be able to take some profit, right? So we'll talk about that more. Um, Sometimes you may want to sell on strength, especially when a stock is really hot. This will also protect this will maximize your profit. So, especially if the stock is running wild to the upside, you may want to sell on strength. So if you have like 2, 3, 4, 5 days of like, constantly going up, you may do that. So a good strategy would be also a combination of a passive aggressive style. So maybe you have determined your your profit margin that you want to take is usually, let's say, 20 to 25%. You can combine that strategy with this. So once your stock hits about 20%, you can say, hey, I'm going to start selling on strength. So every time it continue to moves up from there, you can sell at the high day of the range, right? So whenever you hit a new high, you may want to sell on a given day, right? Um, so this doesn't happen often, but if you do hold a very strong stock and it's been running really well, another strategy would be to sell on uh, when the upper channel line is broken. Uh, in that sense, what does that mean? It means that every day when it's trading upwards, usually, when you draw a straight line across the highs of the trading range for each day, it shouldn't break that line. So let's say you have one strong day here and it broke above, it trade above that trading line, right? The upper channel line. That gives you a signal, sometimes known as a climax run signal. Basically, everyone wants to buy in at the same time, and because there's so much strength. But usually, that would be near the top because everyone wants to get in, and now the smart money was want to get out because they know that hey, everyone is getting in, and so they want to get out before, when the last people get in. So this is a very good strategy if you're holding a very strong stock. So we'll talk about this in regards to BioNTech. So it's just again, this is a strategy that sells on strength again. Um, Again, we'll have the similar talk about selling on passive strategy, which is looking for a lower low and the volume is lighter, stuff like that, or the volume is heavier in this case. We'll talk about that. We'll continue to talk about today about computer software security. We are seeing lots of weakness in this group, so a couple of stocks are still holding up, but the rest have faltered. So something to be aware of. Again, this you may have to learn to cut losses in some time. So, you know, for those with lots of experience in the stock market, it's all a probability game, and sometimes you're gonna lose, and when you lose, you have to cut your losses. We'll look at a couple of very strong group. Again, we'll continue on the retail leisure products that we started last week. So we'll look at that group again this week. Another group we have added to our watch list is commercial service staffing. This group is showing tremendous strength right now, partly due to the economy rebounding and opening right now. So a lot of hiring is needed. So the staffing agencies are in high demand for hiring workers. So let me get into the chart right now. So the first one we're going to look at is BioNTech. So this chart, you know, for those who have been following our videos, we have been monitoring it, you know, pretty much near the break point here, and it has been going up, you know, quite a bit, and it has taken, you know, even in the last week on Monday, it hit a new high. And again, you know, we have a couple of strong days, right? Like running about, you know, so here we have a 4%, you know, it run higher, but it closed at 4% gain. And then here, the second day, we saw a 10% gain, right? So this is like basically running wild right now, right? It's kind of looking at a more little bit look like a parabolic or exponential growth here. So, you know, it may have been good to take some profit around here. Last week we started talking about taking profit. The other thing that, you know, we just mentioned earlier is you could draw a line along the upper channel line. So like say you would take like somewhere around, you know, what at the bottom here, you know, take the highs, so somewhere around here, and you draw a straight line across all the highs, right? Just to, you know, get a sense of what the growth line looks like, the upper channel line looks like. So typically the 10-day moving average looks like the lower bottom channel line, and you can see they're kind of parallel to each other. So that's how you know whether your channel line looks like, you know, the right one. And you can see on Monday it broke above it, right? So that means again it has the similarity to a climax run where it just ran parabolic. Um, and in this case, it was only one day. It broke above it. That is your signal to sell on strength. So you could have taken close to a 60% gain near the top there. Now, if you didn't take the profit, then again, now we're back to a passive strategy, uh, looking for, so, you know, so a couple of things. So I just want to reiterate, you could sell as it goes up, you know, taking some profit along the way. You could have sell on this climax run here. Now, unfortunately, this stock hit a roadblock after this, and you can see the next day it suffered huge, you know, losses right here. I think it was a big loss, like 16%. Yeah, 16% drop, 15% drop by the end of the day, and you can see the volume at the bottom here is super high. And not only that, the second day it continues, right? Again, it closed at the bottom of the range. There was no rebound whatsoever. By the third day, it hit a new low, but it did rebound that day. So, you know, there's a couple of things happening. It sells on higher volume, closed at the bottom of the range, went on the second down day, went below that 10-day moving average, which is the green line. And then by the third day, it went below the 21-day. This is the 21-day moving average. But it did rebound above it, so that's a good sign. And then on Friday, it rebound above 10-day again. So, you know, from a very short-term perspective, you know, you know, it's hard to say whether this will continue to rebound. It could. It's hard to really say right now. So we're gonna watch for what's gonna happen, you know, in the next week or so, right? To see are there more selling volume coming up, right? So that's very important to watch for. So if you're still holding stock, then yeah, you need to watch out for that. Right now is, you know, it's kind of, if you look at the chart, it's kind of halfway, slightly halfway between the high and the bottom here. So this is kind of like, the comfort zone right now. So the buyers are out, the sellers are out. Only the people who want to stick around is still here. Now the question is, who's gonna, um, be the majority and either pull it down further or you can pull it back up. Um, so, but so far the sign is good here because it did rebound above both 21 and 10 day. And, anytime you see a stock is above 10 day, um, especially when you see that it rebound right here, it gap up above this on Friday, that's a very good sign. So anyhow, something to watch out for. We're gonna move to Moderna right now. So Moderna also suffer selling as well. On Monday it went up, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you can see the volume increase as it goes down. And again, first 2 days it dropped at the bottom of the range here, closed at the bottom of the range. The third day hit the 50-day line, which is usually 50-day lines where most institutions will come in and support the stock. So if it does fall to the 50-day line, you want to see some sort of rebound, and it did. So now, however, on Friday, you can see it tried to recover to the 10-day line, but it fell, right? Because it hit that line and closed back down to near the 21-day line, which is the pink line. So again, this one definitely looked weaker than BioNTech because it didn't recover above 10-day. So, just like it never make a new high here, you see it was trying to break out, but it couldn't. So that is a weak signal, right? Because it just couldn't have not enough buyers to push it above. So anyhow, this I think it is a critical junction for both stocks to pay attention to whether they can move beyond somewhere along this line right here, which is where the peak of the 10-day line. So if it does come back up, there's a good chance that it will, possibly break out. Sometimes it takes a couple of times to try to break out. So this is the first try. It failed, but you could try again. Um, so we're gonna move towards software security group. Um, so I'm just gonna quickly jump to the group chart for now. So this is computer security group chart, software security, and what happened was we saw some selling last week, but this week it continued, right? It continued. Unfortunately, sometimes this is a good lesson learned, which is that sometimes it doesn't happen often, but it does happen, and again, it's a probability game, and it the last time it was up, we have a huge volume, and sometimes huge volume can happen on the breakout, which is happening on the pattern here, which is a cup and handle pattern. It broke out of this slight handle here, um, and that's where the big volume is. And then, but ever since there's more selling than it is really unusual to have us, what was this, like almost like an 8-day down days, right? It's an 8-day down days, which is 8 consecutive down days. Very unusual, but it did happen. Now, of course, again, a couple of things to watch out for here. One is none of the days had a higher volume than this. So all the people who bought that day when it broke out is, could be selling. Um, there may be some people holding on. So that's possibly why volume wasn't really high compared to that update. But unfortunately, when it goes below key moving averages, even if the volume is not that high, that could be a sell signal just because a lot of investors and traders do watch those moving averages lines. So it break down below 10-day, which is the green line, break down eventually below the pink line, which is 21-day. Now it is finding support at 50-day, right? Because even though here it went down slightly that day, notice where it closed. It closed at the top of the range, which is near the 50-day line. So it's not everybody is giving up on this group yet. So hard to say where it is going to head towards. It could continue to go down towards this black line, which is the 200-day line. But watch for that signal. Usually heavy volume will come in, which it did here when it went below 50-day. But if it does happen again and it closes at the bottom of the range, it means people are giving up. But so far at this line, it seems like not everyone's giving up yet. So there might be a chance for it to move back up. So something to watch for. Now, like we're gonna look at krauts, right? You can see it has similar pattern, right? Um, Unfortunately, this one has 2 days of strong volume come in, and you can see. Um, the good thing is that both days they actually close at. So this one closed at the middle of the range, 55%, and this one closed at 59% close range. So it didn't close at the bottom. So it shows that some people are buying, not everyone is selling. So that is a good sign. But unfortunately, it did break down below 50-day moving average. So it did break down below all three key moving averages here. Now, it did, try to go towards the 200-day, but it did rebound. So something to watch out for. But the volume signals are not bad here. So as you can see, the group does move as a whole together. Now, Fortinet is probably the best looking chart in the whole group. Not only is the uptrend has started, a while ago, but you can see even in the last 5-7 days where other stocks are falling, it actually are moving upwards slightly. So this stock is definitely showing lots of strength, and on every down day, you can see the volume is lower. And you can see even on the last 2 red days, it didn't close at the bottom, right? So again, very strong signal here that it's definitely someone is accumulating the stock. If we go down to Paula Alto, so I think we already saw weaker signals from this a week ago, and we did see some selling signal previously. Because the buying volume was really low on the last update, and we did see some selling signal down here. So this one is definitely a weaker one. Another one is Octa. Octa suffered a lot of selling in the last week. You can see this volume kick in on this down day, close at the bottom of the range right here. And then the second day, even higher volume, right? It did close near the 50-day moving average, so that's the plus. But volume has been coming in, and then even on this day. So lots of selling volume here, so that's not a good sign because it might have a harder time to move back up. But it's still sitting around the 50-day, and now it's sitting at the 200-day. So the gap are really close between these two lines. So obviously, generally, if it falls below 200-day line, we will see huge volume come in just because people are starting to give up on this stuff. So something to watch out for. The next group was the retail leisure product group. Now, this group we start following last week, and we are seeing tremendous strength. And you can see the green line, the pink line, and the red line, all the key moving average are starting to trend upwards. Also, they're showing, even you can see right here, right, on the last week, almost every day was up except Thursday. But even on Thursday, you saw how much volume came in, and yet it didn't sell off at it didn't close at the bottom of the range. So again, it shows it closed almost in the middle of the range. It shows that there's people who are taking profit at this level, and there's also people who want to jump in. So it might not be over yet for this group. It could continue to go up. And also, if we look at each stock, we're going to go to pool. Again, the economy is recovering in the U.S. and people are spending money on extracurricular activity stuff, and this group is definitely benefiting from that. Here we see the same trend Thursday. It tries to sell off, but the volume wasn't there, as you can see at the bottom here. Close range is 46%. Again, very strong, near the middle of the range. So there's lots of support for this stock. Dick's Sporting Goods It's starting to, there was some selling right here as it slide down, but in the last week, it actually showed really good strength. As you see on the third day, which is the only down day on the week, the volume was so low. I don't know, you can even barely see that volume on the selling day. So no one wants to sell the stock. Hence it keep continue to go upward. Um, Now, Haywood Holdings, um, another swimming pool manufacturer. Now, this one had a huge gap up here due to the earnings, I think. Um, but after that gap out, it's quite interesting to see that um, the volume, and also where it closed, right? So the volume is lower, and where it closed, it's definitely not too bad, right? Like, it's not at the bottom of the range, and the volume is not that high. The volume is decreasing even with the selling, right? So it might consolidate here a little bit just because after that big gap up. So there's a chance that this stock might, stabilize around this area and then may move upward again. So Leslie's. So this is a cup of handle pattern. It did suffer a drop here on Thursday. Um, is again, this it looks bad, but at the same time, it didn't close at the bottom of the range, and even though the volume is higher, right? So there's some people buying definitely, but it is showing weaker just because it's under 10-day and it's slightly under 21-day. But on Friday, it did rebound closer to the 10-day. So watch for this. If it climbs above the 10-day again, it might start to move up, right? So now the last group we want to talk about today is the commercial staffing group. So as I mentioned earlier, it's another group that is showing lots of strength. Um, this group, you can see the green 10-day moving average is trending upward. And then the pink line, same thing. The 50-day, same thing, right? So, and also if you look at this group, you look at the selling days, look at this two volume right here. Huge volume came in 2 days in a row. And if you look at the movement of the price, didn't close even at the bottom, right? And also on this day, like it managed to even like stay slightly above the previous low, right? So of the price. So there's some good sign, and then another day right here, right? So it tried to sell off close to the 10-day, and then it bounced back up by the end of the day, and you see where it closes near the top. Again, the volume was really low, so it seems like a lot of selling might be done here because a lot of people definitely got out here and got so but the group wants to move higher. So let's look at a few stocks here. Manpower Group. You can see it moves upward nicely. Now it's consolidating around this 20% profit from this buy point right here. So, like I said, some people are selling because they want to take that 20% profit, but it seems like there's more people holding on to or wanting to get in as well. So this could potentially move higher. And you can see the volume on Friday was lower on the sell day. On Tuesday, the volume was higher, but look at what the price is. It barely budged, right? Such a narrow range on that sell day. It's again show lots of uh, accumulation there by possibly institutions. Um, and now the stock jobs, 51 jobs. There there's a gap up here. Not sure what the reason is, but it has moved up slightly since then, and again hit a new high, move lower, but the price are staying pretty close to the previous day's update. So you can see it's kind of consolidating here. So it's not bad at all, especially after a gap up. It didn't try to come back down. It's just trying to hold up at this level. So there might be some consolidation at this level. Um, K-Force, this one also have a gap up here. Um, it is holding tight. This next day it fall, but it's still holding within the range of the previous update, previous low. So it's holding up slowly. So that's not bad. Another stock, Kelly Services. This one has a nice uptrend right now. It's moving up nicely. And you can see the trend line starting to move up as well. So again, last week, every day was up except the Wednesday. So this is looks like a pretty good uptrend right now, and it's holding on really well. So thank you for watching the video this week. If you like to subscribe to the YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up on this video, you can contact us at support@midbosscapital.com if you have any questions and would like help on anything. Thank you very much.